Welcome to episode 11 of Liquid Velvet Literature. I am the one who knocks and runs away giggling. All right, welcome to episode 11 of Liquid Velvet Literature. We started off with Jeff Buckley this morning, a quote from Grace from the album and the song. And I remember, fast side note, but I remember I was in Midtown in 1999 and I was at my friend's apartment, he and his wife, and their friend had just left back to, I think, Staten Island, and we weren't normal. I'll put it to you that way. And we had just finished Rain and Blood. And then his wife put in a CD, and I was on the couch, and I remember just hearing this ghostly intro, like, ooh, and I was just drawn in, I could not, I was just instantly and so I was like, who is this? This guy has the voice of an angel. Who is this guy? And she goes, oh, it's Jeff Buckley. I never heard of him. And I will say this, the one word to describe the album Grace is flawless. It's flawless. As flawless as Beethoven's Fifth, as flawless as Mahler, as flawless as Rachmaninoff or Shostakovich or Liszt or any of them, or Rain and Blood. Flawless. And so, I said, hey, where is he? What happened to him? Well, he drowned in Memphis. Really sad story. I mean, he died right at the start of him, So, anyway, I was really inspired. Just so blown away by the beauty of the vocals and the music and the writing on that album. And so, in that little room on 34th Street, I only stayed there for a short while, but when I would write, I was at my typewriter, and I would play that in the background a lot. And that, combined with the litany, for lack of a more descriptive term, of the traffic and the people on 34th Street, sorry. And, but that was such a beautiful, amalgamation up there. And I just, I will always hold that time almost romantically. So, we start off today with that because I was on the site this morning, and I was on the spotlight page on Prose, so we're going to go there right now. Oh yeah, I want to read this, but I want to go to here. Where was it? Yeah. So this is a challenge by TheWolfeDen. Before I continue, I love reading TheWolfeDen. Is a beautiful writer. And this is a challenge called God, the Universe, and You Part 5, The Cosmic Soup. So it goes, where do you think life comes from? Where do we go when we die? Do spirits and souls linger? Do they exist at all? And this is Flash Gordon's entry in that challenge. No cosmic soup, just a can of SpaghettiOs, each one al dente, perfectly defined circles of love. Such great beginnings, futile, nugatory, ineffectual, vain, blobbing into a mush, those stuck together in our can. Dusty and forgotten on a sagging shelf with others dented, rusting in our tiny circle, those we've touched in our lives. Now stuck together, rotting in sweet and safe sauce. Into a glob, each having become indistinguishable. Once created to feed starving children of Africa, rejected sight unseen, without a steamy spoonful, never used, we simply go on becoming useless, in a forever eternity, an excess commodity, even food pantries refuse. Mothballed, obliterated, individuality erased, purpose forgotten. Thanks, Flash Gordon. I like this quite a bit. And this one is Hellfire. I found this earlier. I'm trying to find if this is a challenge or no, it's not. It's from the fiction portal on Prose, and it's SelfishNeurotic. Great name. And it's called Hellfire. I like listening to all the sounds of the city around me, the ones I knew before I became what I am now. It brings a certain sense of calm that I can't usually conjure up myself. The images of my time over there still stay with me through most of my time awake. Being conscious is better than when I sleep, though. The doctor told me that was normal for people like me. Like he would fucking know. He's never had to hear the screams, never had to just sit there and listen to his brothers and sisters die while he can do nothing but try against all odds to push it all away. The things that people like me have had to do to keep people like them safe from death and terror, I still hear them. Sometimes I can push them to the background just like back then, but they're still there, always. It feels wrong to deny them my attention. They deserve to be heard, but the doctor said that they're not real, like he would fucking know. I pass by so many places that beckon me in, promises of a reprieve from my demons, but I know their lies too well. Besides, they're not demons. I am. No chance of giving them a reprieve from me, though, so I keep walking. The city streets have gone to shit, or maybe they were always like that. I can't help but think about why I bothered fighting for all of this, fighting the monsters for the grime and the sin. I try to tell myself that I didn't, that I fought for the potential, for what we could be, if only we had the time. The problem is, I know my own lies too well, too. I pass by another prospective friend that beckons me in through its doors. I know this one, though I've never been in. I remember asking my dad what VFW meant. He said it was a place for people who had been through hell. I stop and face this hell on earth, and I can't help myself. I'm already through the door before the voices can pull me back. At this time of night, there aren't more than a few grizzled guys in leather jackets and old fatigues propped up against the bar. I can't help but notice their boots of all things, still crisp and clean as if they polished them this morning. I find myself missing my own. Old habits die hard for all of us, I guess. It only takes a few moments of suspicious glares to remember that I still have my hood up. I drop it, and something in them relaxes, but only a little. I smile my carefully practiced smile. They recognize the look in my eyes, I guess. I wander over and introduce myself. They don't answer. They're not listening to my words, they're listening to the other things. They're watching my posture, my hands, my soul reflected in my dark eyes. I'm doing the same. They start talking amongst themselves, but make no effort to turn me away. It's just small talk until someone pulls out a knife from a sheath at their belt. Something in me sparks, but no one reacts, so I try to lull the fire in my chest back to slumbering embers. The guy says it was his knife in the service, said it was taken back by Uncle Sam after he was discharged, something about wartime supplies and all that shit. Apparently a buddy of his who took a desk job managed to get it back to him. He's pretty happy about it. I know what he means. I say as much. They turn to me, maybe forgetting I was there. I don't know. I continue. I tell them how I miss my own service weapon, like another limb, always near, always ready. I tell them how the feeling of cold steel in my hands is a comfort that I can scarcely find elsewhere. I kick myself. The voices chastise me for opening up. They claw me back and I feel the dull burning again. It hurts, but I know I deserve it. I feel a hand on my shoulder and the embers in my chest threaten to grow into an inferno. I see pity and sympathy on their faces and it smolders again. They tell me that it gets better and say all the other pretty lies they're supposed to say. I thank them and turn away. I step out into the streets once again. The smell of brimstone taunts me through my memories. The feeling of my sword in my hand, the bright flame that shone from its blade cutting through the darkness. The familiar weight of my armor resting against me like the embrace of a mother I had never known. The faces of those like me, conscripted to hold back the darkness, smile at me. After only a flicker of times gone by, it recedes and I find myself back on the streets, head held high to the sky and an ocean of everything threatening to tear me apart from within. But I know I don't deserve that easy end. I walk and leave hell behind me the best I can. Besides, I know I'll see it again, like an old friend. The voices promised me. I really liked that piece, and the one before it. So thank you to flashgordon and to SelfishNeurotic for those two beautiful pieces to grace the pages of prose. And I'm going to get out of here, but thank you for being here, and I will see you in the new video. Take good care.